everyone. Welcome to another edition of Chamber Chat. I'm Lauren Grimmick, the Executive Director of the Melrose Chamber of Commerce, and our MMTV show is dedicated to our Melrose Chamber members, most of whom are small business owners here in Melrose, Massachusetts. And on today's episode, I'm bringing us into one of our at-home business members, one of our sole proprietor members, who many of you probably know as a lifelong Melrosian, but we've got Carol Mouradian of Mary Kay Cosmetics. Hi, Carol.
Hi, Lauren. How are you today?
I am excellent, and I always love seeing you, even if it's virtually, because you're always upbeat and have lots of news to share about your business. There's certainly been a lot probably going on to catch up on in the last few months, but before we get into all of that, why don't you just introduce yourself and your business to our viewers?
Okay, great. Well, I just wanted to also thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm just really excited to share about myself and Mary Kay, and I really appreciate the opportunity. So thank you.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
well, I started. Mary Kay's been around since 1963, and she's a real woman. So it's not. She had passed away in 2001, but she started her company to offer women an opportunity that they could work around, their families. Really, women weren't working outside of the home as much in 1963, and I really, what I find so interesting is how it's come full circle, and women working from home as a side gig, to work around their families or just to have a side gig to have extra money. It's kind of come full circle. So
Sure.
yeah, so that's kind of I started in 35 years ago.
Wow, you were a baby then, Carol.
I know. That's I try to tell people I was only 12, but that's not getting too much more mileage right now. So
I love it. So then, okay, so I mean, you've been in the business a long time, and we can get to sort of that incredible longevity. But 35 years ago, what made you say, pay attention, like, hey, this might be something for me? What was it that even, had you get into it? Because it is definitely you got to be a self-starter to do this. So tell us about how you got into it.
So my aunt had started Mary Kay many years ago, and she recruited my mom, Nancy Mouradian, and my mom had recruited me. But actually, I kind of recruited myself because she's like really quiet and shy and introverted, more introverted, I would have to say, and I'm more like my father, who was more outgoing, and so when I saw that she did so well in just a short, like all those 35 years ago, she sold so much in one day and she made all this great extra money. I thought to myself, this would be great to do in addition, because I went to college for marketing, UMass Amherst, and I was in the printing industry for a while, and I got laid off. And so she said, why don't you just come with me to one of my parties? And I thought, geez, I'm watching her making all this money. And I thought, oh my goodness, diamond rings. Like, wouldn't that be fun to win a diamond ring, right? And I said, I think I could do this. So I just thought I'd give it a try. I was still living at home. And, I decided to give it a try as a part-time thing in conjunction to my full-time job.
So
And
it's
that's
sort
kind
of,
of what drew me, the extra money, because I wanted so much. I had so many goals, even at that young age. So.
so you could say kind of, certainly it wasn't something that you were unfamiliar with, right? Mary Kay was pretty much a household name for you at that point. You got to see firsthand through your mom, and how she was running her business. And it was circumstantial that at the time you were, looking for something new, and you just kind of stepped into it. What is it like? What is sort of the typical, for someone watching at home who might have heard about the products, what do you want to tell them about, like, being a consultant? Like, what does that entail as, like, your job, right? What does that entail, whether that's a regular basis, or just tell us a little bit about you as an employee.
Okay, well, I'm considered self-employed,
Okay.
as independent contractor, and you basically make your own schedule, your own hours, and you work it around anything else. You sprinkle Mary Kay into your life as far as holding appointments and facials or makeovers. We're not allowed to touch because we're not licensed cosmetologists, but we teach, and I think that goes teaching someone how to use the products correctly and sitting down with them. A consultant basically would sit down with somebody, and the funny thing is because it's more virtual now. I'm sure we'll talk about that, but you're basically giving people a chance to sample the products that you love, and just teaching them how to use them. And through that, they love the products, they love the way their face feels and their skin feels, and they can see the results. And so the customer purchases products after that. So
Sure.
um, we make a percentage of what we sell.
And so you're, when you say like consultant, I mean, you're really also like kind of getting to know your customers and, what their needs are. And it's not just cosmetics, right? I know that
Right.
you have all sort of product lines. And then like, are you making recommendations, or are you like, how do you figure out what the customer or client wants?
Well, there's all different skincare lines, from the teen line to an acne line to anti-aging, for fine lines. There's a line of products more. We have men's products, and we have products maybe over 40s, I would say. So there's different lines of products. So basically, finding out a little bit about the person and and that's something that's really important to me, is that before I do an appointment with somebody, I sit down and just ask them a few questions about their skin. What are they looking for? What do they want to change? What do they want help with? And then keeping it for a new consultant, just keeping it simple as to like what she's going to do. So you don't have to do, like, we have over 200 products in our product line. So we
Sure.
just kind of keep it to the skincare products. And no, and then we do have, like you say, color. We have color. So it kind of just have to ask lots of questions and find out more about what the person's looking for. And that way, they'll be happy to try it, and they'll be excited after they try it.
Sure. So, as I understand, sort of pre-COVID, you kind of mentioned early on too in the conversation here, like parties, right? So gatherings in people's homes, like parties were big. I know you have sort of, I might probably get the name wrong, but almost like a consultant's studio, or a place that's in Wakefield, where you would, do things in person. So can you tell us a little bit about, in a non-pandemic time, what that entails, what your job entails in person, and then kind of how it's pivoted or shifted, in the COVID
Sure.
time?
Yes, and so before this whole pandemic, we would basically get together with women, and of course, if men were interested in the skincare, that's great too. And we'd get together. It's sort of a fun party kind of atmosphere, and very social. Whether it was in somebody's home, or people come to me sometimes in Melrose. I have my products, and I'm in my office right now, and I can have people come here. Or we do have a beauty studio, a really
Thank
nice,
you.
beautiful beauty studio in Wakefield, and it's gorgeous, and it's really nice. And actually, it's actually reopened right now. But we would basically schedule times one-on-one with somebody, just one person, myself and one other or two other people, or they could get a couple of friends together and get some free products. And it's always fun. And I really miss the face to face, but I'm still doing face to face because it's all this virtual. But so we went from that, to just like complete dead stop of seeing people. And I really had to pivot. I think that would be my word. And it was a lot to learn about. It was a lot to learn about Zoom, and a lot to learn about this technology and that technology. And I literally just threw myself into it in March, and literally leading the way in Massachusetts. We're the number 2 sales unit in the entire state right now. And I haven't done this. This is like amazing. Like, I've had my consultants, we have 127 people in our unit, by the way. I'm a sales director. So I'm going from a consultant and then adding people to my team. I became a sales director, many years ago, like probably 31 years ago. So we have been doing fantastic and the best ever. Like, what else can you do during this time? This pandemic, what else can you do? You can be at home in front of your computer. So basically what we do now is we give samples to people. We'll do like, I'll put them in the mail, I'll put a little pink pampering package in the mail to people. And then I'll just walk people through how to use the products, and they get their friends together. They live all over the country. They grabbing a glass of wine. They're just like, just having fun, socializing. It's like so much fun, actually.
So actually, I mean, you made a good point. In a way, you can actually even reach, right, even their potential to reach newer clients or new customers, all over has grown in a way because of it. Because if you were doing, say, a party in Melrose, most likely the people coming to that person's house are just coming, locally, right? But now with Zoom, I mean, it's endless, right, in terms of who can do
Exactly.
it. So, I mean, that's really fantastic. And you also touched upon what I would say is like a huge accomplishment in your career, in terms of going from, being your own consultant to now having a team, being a sales director, and, having, people under you. So, talk a little bit about maybe that, or, how that's been for you, essentially a manager.
Yeah, so in Mary Kay, we kind of call it more of like a leadership position.
Mhm.
People don't like to be managed as much as led, So it's kind of Mary Kay used to call it a management conference we used to have, but no, it's leadership position. And so the basic goal of working is to empowering women, of course, of men. We have men in Mary Kay too. I don't have any in my team. I'd love to, but I don't. And um, it's just empowering them to learn how to work a business. They can work around anything else they have going on. It can be like most everyone has another job. They have kids. They have a house. They have other things happening, but they have college educations. They also have vacations. Maybe they'll eventually like get to go on someday soon, hopefully. And so it's like that there's a need for that extra money. And so what I do is I train them, I teach them, I work with them, I mentor them, I help them with their first parties, and whatever the sales are, it all goes to them. And then we have a Facebook group that I do a lot of. We do a lot on the Facebook group too, and it's a lot of recognition and kind of encouraging them all the way along the way. And lately, I've actually been doing something like a Facebook Live. That was really fun to learn. That was oh yeah, you got to get your Upperwear going. You got to make sure you're looking good on the Upperwear here. But we have a group on Facebook. It's called the Virtual Beauty Bash,
Fun.
and we have 282 members right now in that group. And so every Wednesday we have like a live event, and I do a Zoom. We Zoom in, and then we stream it into the live. And so customers get on, and consultants get on, and their customers get on, and it's fun, and they purchase, and they love it, and we do prizes. I mean, it's like this whole other world. It's just crazy. But I hope I answered the question right. I felt like I kind of went off a little.
I mean, you have. We've talked about how, the business, how you had to, change it pretty quickly, and how that's actually been good for your business, which is awesome to hear. I mean, you talked about, I think you used a really good kind of differentiator between the words. Like when you're managing someone, you're kind of just maybe looking for mistakes or making sure they're doing what they're supposed to. But when you're leading someone, like you are empowering all those people, underneath you, and that will continue to motivate them and continue to have you guys work together. And certainly, just because I know you personally, I know that you've been really good at that. Because let's talk about the big prize, or big, I would say, reward that you got for all of your hard work with Mary Kay, just in this past year was,
The
ta-da.
pink Cadillac.
I love that. And
Oh my gosh.
how does that feel to you?
Oh my gosh. It is amazing. Like, I have been with the company for 35 years, okay? It has been on my bucket list, my little pink bucket list. It's been on there forever. And it's a real team effort. It is only done because of an amazing team, amazing unit. And my consultants, they live all over the country, and I work with them virtually like this. And but it's like so awesome. It's like driving, it's like driving in a living room. It's like the thing is like so fluffy, and it just kind of like bounces along. I'm so used to cars that are smaller and like to lower to the ground, but it's really fun, and I'm really so grateful. Like, I really don't take it for granted at all, and I am definitely not. I'm definitely a leader in the company that's really in the field. Like, I don't just like say this is what you need to do, go for it. I am like with them. I work with them, teach them. Like, they can tell you, it's I'm really on top of things. When I feel like I have the heartbeat of my unit. Like, I know the pulse. I think that's the right word. The pulse of where everybody's at, and I'm very sensitive to helping and making sure they're they're happy and they're, that's really important to them. And most important thing I think is that I love that to see them grow. So the personal growth that they get from starting a little business for themselves like this that could turn into a big business, it is so amazing to see their self-confidence grow. That is the thing I love the most. So
Oh, no, I mean, that's great. And you've certainly, I think, in just describing how you feel and, what you love about the job, I mean, those are all, I think people would agree with me, qualities of a good leader. And so it seems that you've been a natural at that. So, I always say to my guests, like, we run out of time pretty quickly because I'm definitely a talker. You're a chatterbox
and
as
I definitely am.
and we could be socializing. But so I want to make sure that we just get in these last few minutes. If someone out there wants to, get in touch with you either to learn about, how they can take better care of themselves for a consultation or learn more about the business, what are the best ways to get in touch with you?
Well, they could just call me. Do I give my number?
Yeah, give it away.
All right, perfect. So anyone can give me a call or text. My cell number is 617-823-1817, and I can schedule an appointment with you. We can do a Zoom facial or Facebook Messenger, and I can give you some samples to try. There's no obligation to purchase, and everything is 100% guaranteed, by the way. Or if you're looking for an opportunity to learn more about how Mary Kay works as a part-time side gig, I'm happy to share that as well. And I also have a website.
Yep, go for it.
www.marykay.com /Carol Mouradian, CarolMouradian. And that is my website. So, yeah.
Oh, well, that's awesome, Carol. I mean, thank you for kind of sharing. I know it's been just a real like small portion of kind of what you do and what the business is. I'm, so grateful that you've been able to, really carry forward and your team has during this time. And, it shows to sort of the longevity, not only of you, but also of the company. We see a lot of these, quote unquote startups kind of come and go, and it's certainly turned into an incredible enterprise, which it sounds like it's then led to amazing opportunities for women around the world. So thank you for kind of sharing that and being a part of it with us. So.
And thank you so much too, Lauren. I wanted to say how awesome I think it is that you're really working to help the businesses of Melrose and in-home businesses and direct sales like this. I mean, we're one of those businesses. So I just really want to say thanks for giving me this opportunity and for giving and working with the other chamber members as well. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Carol. Well, you make it easy. So it's great when this part of the job is super fun. So Melrose, if you're watching, I hope that you learned a lot more about Carol Mouradian and about Mary Kay Cosmetics. And we've given you some information so that you can, learn more about it. And if you, have any questions, you can contact Carol directly. I can speak from experience that she is super accessible and will definitely talk with you about some of your needs and a little bit more about the business. So until our next episode, I just want to say thank you for your continued support of small businesses in Melrose. And until next time, I'm Lauren Grimmick.